Sonic X Comic Issue 31. We start out with Chris and Chuck cheering about wrestling again, and one of the wrestlers challenges Eggman as his next opponent, which gets Eggman mad. After recap wasting comic space, Eggman says he planned for just such an occasion. I feel bad for Bokkun here, he looks so sad. And his robot brothers are being kind of hypocrites by hating him for trying to take over the world, while when Eggman does it, it's just fine by them. Eggman surprises Bokkun by telling him that he needs him for this plan. If he uses Bokkun so rarely that he's surprised when he tells him to do something for him, what's the point of building him and keeping him around then? He doesn't treat Bokkun like a son, so that's not it. Sonic thinks that he doesn't know what Chris sees in wrestling because he already sees colorful heroes in action scenes every day. He stops from hearing an explosion sound, and Eggman uses an Eggmobile to rob people of sweets. I guess it's an incentive to Bokkun, but he shouldn't need to do that. It's his robot. And Eggman makes a live broadcast in his wrestling costume at the same time, implying that one of those Eggmen, probably the first one who's stealing sweets, is a fake. Eggman gladly challenges the wrestler and says that he wasn't Eggman, using the news report about him robbing a bakery today as a cover. He says it was all an elaborate plan to save the president, and now he's come back. The wrestler behind him goes to attack him anyways, implying that hopefully he doesn't buy it. And Eggman realizes he's in trouble because he forgot he doesn't have his cheating nanobots, and he was arrogant enough that he forgot all of his victories came from cheating. So the wrestler throws him around a lot because he's bigger than him. It would have been really awesome if he won against the wrestler anyways, because go figure, he's big. So, of course he would be strong too. Hell, in Fleetway, Robotnik punched the ground, and it caused the ground to lift up like he had super strength. And it made sense because he was so big, but of course he doesn't have, but obviously this guy would be a lot more experienced than him. Fine. Sonic goes after Bokkun, who's wearing an Eggman infiltrator suit. I like that he stammers at him like he's scared of him, and calls him a ninny, not being very good at insulting people because he's childish and that's just not in his nature. Sonic naturally gets suspicious and goes after Bokkun, who barely knows how to operate the Eggmobile. I love how bad he is at imitating Eggman. Goes to show you that he should really be independent. Eventually, he presses a button to send Sonic away with a boxing glove, but the candy makes him panic and go after it. Bokkun really was just in a suit, rather than, which is stupid because the mouth had to have been moving as if it was Eggman, or Sonic would immediately know it was not lip-synced properly. So does that make any sense at all? No. Bokkun could have had his mind uploaded to an Eggman infiltrator robot, and that would have made more sense. I like how he laughs nervously when Sonic sees him, and he tells Sonic he ought to join the Chaotix because he figured out the plan. Oh right, I forgot that the Chaotix are supposed to be detectives of all things in the games. And because video games, that's apparently how they are in Sonic X too. I'm so used to thinking of the Chaotix as a group of heroes who fight villains. Out of nowhere, Chris tells Eggman that he believes in him, looking sad. So he's so idealistic that he'll see Eggman as the underdog, instead of just enjoying him being thrown around. Eggman could have decided to fight better on his own from losing his temper, and that would have been badass, instead of Chris, of all people, motivating him. He punches him and flips him to the floor, and people actually root for him in the audience. Which is, I'm torn between thinking that's sweet and stupid. Can it be both? Wait, am I actually supposed to believe that everyone bought his lie? Even Chris, who should know better? They deluded themselves into thinking he wasn't Eggman again? Whatever. Bokkun throws the candy so Sonic and the cops fall over, and he escapes in the Eggmobile, not looking sad about missing out on the candy. Sonic decides not to tell Chris that Gordo is Eggman just for humoring him. And Eggman in the wrestler costume shows up at the door, ending the story as he acts all awkward about wanting Sonic's help. I like the looks of this, and the fact that it didn't end in one issue. This issue is by Inflin. Everyone saw Eggman take off his wrestler costume last time, and reveal who he really was. There's no reason anyone should buy that he's not Eggman. Everyone saw that. Everyone should have just assumed that he put Bokkun in an Eggman disguise, or uploaded his mind to an Eggman robot. It would have been more natural of the writing to make him build an amnesia ray so that people forgot about who he really is. Then Chris encouraging him would have made more sense. I mean, he makes no effort to disguise his voice, right? Well, it's a comic, so you never know, but still. It feels like the writer wrote himself into a corner earlier because he had Eggman be revealed for who he really was, but then eventually he realized that he wanted to write another story about Eggman being a wrestler because it was such a good idea. Because he's big and should be strong, and it's a new direction with his character for once. After all that cliched villain for no reason stuff. Anyways, fortunately the wrestler Eggman idea isn't left underutilized, because the story starts out an arc where he comes back to wrestling, which is cool. I like seeing him in this kind of position, even if the comic would never have the guts to keep him in it. And I like that he had Bo-Kun be a distraction from Dress Like Him. That was actually pretty amusing. But again, it would have been written more naturally if Bo-Kun was uploaded to an Eggman robot. Sonic should have figured out it wasn't Eggman instantly from the mouth and the costume not moving properly. He should have said that was what he noticed, and I don't think the plot would have changed.